Hello, everyone. I am honored to be invited to provide a bit of my experience as alumni of the Volunteer Richmond Youth Now program to the graduates and guests of the 17th annual chapter. My name is Romi Fung, and I am part of the 2010-2011 cohort of the Youth Now program, where I was assigned to the Richmond Centre for Disability and participated in their board of directors. I learned a lot about board governance, something that I never thought as a volunteer I would be taking a role in that level. I learned how programs are organized and governed by the board and its teams. I've also attended the workshops that included fund development, self-empowerment, and a lot of reflection. These workshops took beyond the traditional didactic learning and really focused more on concepts that were really applicable in our work and outside of all the college and the university learning that most of us, if not all of us, were participating in. My experience in the Youth Now program gave me a different perspective and lens on how one can even provide acts of community service, even as a professional. I was once an avid community volunteer. I've done many roles in locations and positions in rehabilitation, gift wrapping, clerical work, and even leadership roles, such as being the information captain for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics at the Ozone in Richmond, as well as volunteer captain for the Salmon Festival and Winter Festivals. My experience in the Youth Now program gave me opportunities to see how else I can make a difference in my community. I provide health education and webinars through the various community centers and public libraries in Richmond. My hope is to bring back to full circle and provide support in a board of directors for an organization I am passionate about once things currently settle, as I'm currently taking on a whole lot. But at this time, I provide a lot of my expertise through simple learning strategies and small webinars, mostly focused on the older adult population, but invite people of all ages to learn more about their digestive health, mental health, and hormone health. And this all actually started off at the beginning of lockdown in March of 2020, where we started to engage more older adults in their learning as a part of keeping as a community and keeping engagement. I played many roles at this time. Primarily, I am a naturopathic physician, and I currently have a private practice in Richmond. I treat and empower patients in seeking answers about their health and their well-being. My practice is more generally based, but I do have clinical interests in dementia and working with those with Alzheimer's disease. I use tools such as clinical nutrition, lifestyle counseling, botanical medicine, acupuncture, in really optimizing the health of my patients. On top of my practice, I am an instructor and clinical faculty at the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine Boucher campus in New Westminster. This is where I teach a number of the traditional Asian medicine and acupuncture courses, as well as supervising senior interns with their own patients and with their cases. On top of that, I'm also currently a PhD student. In fact, as I'm recording this, I'm currently pursuing a PhD intensive in Ontario at Queen's University. My PhD is on the aging and health, and my dissertation hopes to gather a better understanding of the use of atypical antipsychotics for the treatment of behavioral symptoms of dementia and why they are still currently being used despite the known risks, no mortality, and adverse effects. I can say with confidence that I have been involved in community service for 20 years of my life now. That's 2 decades. And there are so many things to learn. I learn every single day from the many roles I was in and currently am. This is where you explore your options. There are so many opportunities and even so many programs that would match your interests. I believe there are so many programs now that can really match what you like, Because when I was in that position, maybe approximately 20 years ago, we didn't have programs that would match make between what our interests are and what opportunities are provided. I believe that RCRG has a listing for you to explore and even refine your searches based on your interests. I would volunteer, and back then I would volunteer for several clinical locations and ask myself if I saw myself working in this location as a future potential career. It's a great opportunity to see if the environment fits your interests and gives you opportunities to talk with the professionals and workers there and get their advice and even their insight as to how the location, how the flow, and how their careers are. Another thing I would really suggest is to volunteer with your friends. You make friends, but also gather with friends and go for those kind of opportunities. Volunteer with your groups. I thought it was the best thing to do, and while you're doing it, have fun with it. This is where I founded the Jaws with a Cause volunteer club in Steveston, London Secondary School. This was where I was hoping to make volunteering an accessible and fun opportunity. There is simply no opportunity that is too small. Whatever you do, you are going to make a difference in the life of others you touch. You will also find opportunities open up as you continue giving. I've devoted my life to giving, and I feel that I get more back when I know I have touched the lives of others. Another thing I would like to share is that you ought to project a sense of value to everything you do, no matter how small. I seriously never thought I'd be pursuing even a master's degree, or even now a doctoral degree, and even after my medical education. I thrive on the idea of learning as growth, and I value every bit that gives me the ability to give more. And the same thing goes with my community service. No matter how small my audience is with the teaching and the education that I give to the community, I know I've made a difference in their lives, and they've probably have shared that with others. It becomes a domino effect. Thank you so much for listening to all this. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.